Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we are playing our 10th episode of Daggerheart. Solo, we are playing solo Daggerheart, exploring the Sablewoods with our fawn ranger, Fern, and their pet wolf, Wolf. Very imaginative. So, what have I got to tell you about this week? I am in Belgium. It is our first Saturday, technically, in Belgium, this being episode 10, airing on the 25th of October. We are now in Belgium. We've been here for about a week, and I can't tell you what it's like because that is my future. Your present, my future. So anyway, yes, Fern. We left the Hollows. We did a long rest. We have 6 fear. We are going to take the big sunk in oak striker attached flint, 2 bead nova at the spire and try and relight the fire. We have moved, it's next day, and we have recovered, if I remember rightly, we've still got the damage to our armor and we are all clear on hit points and stress. Now we can do the roll as normal, which is an instinct roll, moving through the Sablewoods, and even if we succeed, we've got 6 fear. We should really start burning that fear down, because if we were, so as a solo player, we have to mimic what the DM would do and also play for the story, serve the story, and if the fear's got to that point, we should really start to consume it and use it to make the story happen. So I think no matter what Fern rolls for the instinct roll, Fern is going to get ambushed on the way back. Definitely, because we had attacked the 2 constructs which were on the way to the spire, and so there would be constructs out in the Sablewoods looking for us to attack us. And so I think we might just roll straight into We could roll straight into a combat and then end the. It depends how long the combat goes for and what happens to Fern. End the session going to the spire and meeting Bead Nova. I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll burn 1 fear to automatically have an ambush occur that we say that Fern goes out into the woods. We'll roll for within the Sablewood to say where it happens. So we'll roll a description. So burn 1. We roll a d20, we get an 11. An 11 is the path. Here dips into the dark soil, sunken nearly chest deep. High walls of dirt and root loom on either side, pressing in like watching eyes. A perfect place for an ambush. So as Fern is moving through, Fern can have an instinct roll to see if Fern can detect. So a 15 instinct roll as they have formed an ambush, and then we will use the Construct Adversaries Daggerheart-Compatible Monsters book that is on Drive Thru to randomly roll a 5 BP point, because I've got a table at the back. I've got a bunch of random tables at the back which will do 5 BP worth of enemies. We'll randomly roll a d12 and see what the collection is of variety of enemies that constructs will hit Fern. And depending on what those are, they will hit in a different way, because I've got some skulks, which are the stone crabs. They might try and ambush Fern. And then we have some of the bruisers, the stone thugs. They might just try and storm Fern. There are some quartz shields, which are supports. And so we might see, depending on what we roll, it will be a different sort of collective that will attack Fern. So Fern needs to make an instinct roll, target of a 15. Fern has +1 instinct. We are in the Sablewood, and so I think it would be fair for Fern to say, can I get advantage because I am wildborn and light of foot? And I think we would grant Fern advantage for that, so that's a d6 added. So we get a critical. Very cool. So it's a critical success, which means that it's an automatic success, plus we get a hope. Where's the hope? There we go. Plus we get a hope, and I think we'd also clear a stress if we had stress. But that, even though that fails, because that's only a 9, it succeeds. So we see the ambush coming with a critical. We also have some things that happen with criticals, don't we? We have our jobs click up. So we roll a D3 to see which one of the jobs. It's a 2, which is the ambush. It's the Whitefire Arcanist, the solo construct. So I mean, we could have the ambush is the solo construct, which means that a solo construct is on the table. I mean, it'll be interesting just to roll on the table and see, but based on what we were planning, which is the Whitefire Arcanist gave us a job, which it was a kill job, and it's also will help the Thistle Folk, which was there's a solo tier 1 monster that does +2 damage, which is out in the set. This was what started the whole of the construct storyline for us. The whole of the construct storyline started because of that. So based on that critical and the rolling of the 2, I think that we've decided that it is the solo. The solo that has been tracking us the whole time has caught us. But let's just roll on this table anyway, just so as you can see what sort of things we would get. So a 9 would give us 1 Shell Swarm, which is a hold, 1 Stone Soldier, which is a standard, and 1 Quartz Shield, which is a support. If we'd have rolled a 1, that is 1 solo construct, which is a thug, which is page 74 in the SRD. So I will dig out page 74 in the SRD, and we are going to be taken by that. We rolled a critical, so we see it coming. Page 74 in the SRD. All right, this thing is going to muller us because we have 5 fear to work with. All right, so it's a full strength solo. Is going construct this massive. It's huge, even in comparison to the bruiser that Fern was fighting. Is covered in moss, and vines have started growing up the side of it. Its huge fist comes ploughing through the trees, knocking bushes and trees aside as Fern instincts kick in, and Fern dives and rolls to the side, drawing bow, and Wolf starts to growl. Now we'll remember how we do this properly, so we'll be able to take this down hopefully a bit easier. Fern gets to act first because Fern is our hero. We will need to roll a new mission to take up spot 2 in our mission list. Fern is going to shout for Wolf to attack the construct. The construct has a difficulty of 13. Wolf, so Fern does have 1 hope that we could burn to get Wolf to attack. Wolf does a d6 damage, so it's probably not going to do more than 1 point of damage, but the construct does have its 1 point of physical damage gets done, then an extra point of physical damage comes off. So Fern is going to shout, Wolf, attack, and then draw an arrow and attempt to shoot. Wolf first. So we need to hit, what do we need to hit? 13s. Do we have any, yeah, we've got +2 because it's a spell roll, so that's agility, giving us a +2. And we're not going to burn hope on this one. So it just gives us +2. We get a critical again. That is awesome. Okay, 2 crits. That's not bad. So before we do, so we need to upgrade one of the jobs. So a job goes up. We get another hope. We have no stress to clear. It's a critical success. Wolf rolls. Is it double damage? Yeah, it is double damage, isn't it? It's the dice goes up by 1. So Wolf rolls 2d6 damage as Wolf bounds forwards, growling loudly as it starts to try to. We could actually damage it. Try to bite into a 6. Is that right? I think that's right. 6 is still under the 1 point threshold, which is still 1 hit point. I don't think when the construct marks a hit point from physical damage, it marks another hit point. It has no way to mitigate. Before rolling damage for the construct attack, you can mark a stress to gain +10. No, it has no way to mitigate. So 2 hit points comes off as a huge chunk of stone gets rammed off as Wolf plows into the construct's knee, knocking it to the side, growling, bits of white froth all over its teeth as its hunches go up, and it begins to back away towards Fern's side as it's growling, so as Fern and Wolf can stay close to each other. We still are on Fern. Oh, let's roll for the job. Which job goes up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. This is the travelling trader's job, which is for the Otterhawk. If it clicks, that means somebody has purchased an Otterhawk, and the Sablewood will weep. So, Fern is going to try and hold this thing tight, and Fern is going to attempt to cast Vicious Entanglement. So whilst having the bow notched, Fern is going to scream at the forest, "Hold this abomination tight!" Make a spellcasting roll against the target. On a success, Roots and Vines reach out and does D8 plus 1 physical damage and temporarily restrains it. If we spend an additional success, additionally on a success, we can spend a hope to restrain. We've only got one adversary, so we don't need to do that. So we just need to try and hit it. Again, it has a difficulty of 13. Fern has a +2 agility, so that means we need to roll 13s. We haven't really got an advantage here. Can we spend a hope? Spend a hope and make an attack against the target. On a success, deal your attacks normal damage and temporarily make the target a focus. Does this count? Not really, I don't think so. It's spell focus, so we need to try and hit it. So we've got 13s. Well, man alive. So we hit it. We hit it for dead set because we've just got 23, I think. What's that? No, 25. So we hit it. We get another hope, giving us 3 hope. We've done a hit. We do a D8 plus 1 damage as vines come tearing out of the Sablewood, pushing out of trees. Different branches come up and grip underneath the construct, holding it tight, pulling it, and there's a cracking sound, doing 9 points of damage, pushing it to the second threshold, which is 2 points of damage, which is 3 points of damage gets done to it, knocking it down to 4 hit points. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 hit points. Can it do anything? No, it can't do anything at this point. All right, so we might spend, so though this is still hope, Fern still holds Spotlight, we are going to throw away a fear to pull the Spotlight onto our construct. So we have thrown a fear away to pull it off of Fern. So Fern didn't have to do a foul or roll fear for us to do this, because we've thrown a fear. Because the story is, because basically Fern is going to be one-sidedly kill this solo unless we pull it back. So we pull the Spotlight back to the construct. Now we can do this twice because the construct has Relentless, but it's going to cost us a fear for each one, which is cool. We've got a pull. So Fern smiles, pulls back the arrow as the glow of purple, like evil-looking light expands within the cracks within the construct, causing the forest to burn away the ropes which are binding it, releasing it. We now let it act. It is going to, we can do a trample action, mark a stress to make an attack against all targets in the construct path when they move. Targets the construct succeeds against take 1d8 physical damage. Okay, so we are going to spend a stress, taking our construct to 3 stress. It is going to charge and close distance and slam into Wolf and Fern. So it is going to attempt to smash into Wolf and Fern. Before rolling damage for the construct's attack, you can mark a stress to gain. Alright, it's going to mark a stress against each one of the ones that it hits to get plus 10 damage to it. So against Wolf, a 6 doesn't hit Wolf. Wolf has an evasion of 10 and the 6 misses Wolf. So missing Wolf as Wolf rolls to the side, and attempts to. So Wolf can protect. Wolf can take the damage. Oh no, that's only on the last hit point. Wolf can protect Fern, and then attempts to smash into Fern. Fern has a 12. 6. So Fern and Wolf dive to the side of either side as the solo, like a steam train, comes ploughing through. Is that all okay? Comes ploughing through the Sablewood, smashing bushes and small saplings aside, ripping open the ground, churning up as it ploughs into, attempting to overrun both Wolf and Fern, and missing. So we don't need to roll damage, but we did mark a stress to do that. There's no reactions to do, no passives to do. We've done 2 turns to the spotlight for the solo. The spotlight flips back to Fern. So now it's within melee range. Fern is going to have to try and... Fern is going to use the jump ability to make a big distance. Is going to call to Wolf to attack the construct. So first off we'll do the jump, clears the distance, then the call to Wolf to attack the construct is a +2, needing to hit a 13, so we need 11s. We get with fear, a hit with fear, so that's a 16 +2 is a 17. So Wolf bites a chunk out of the solo, but the solo does get to respond. So doing a d6 damage, which is what Wolf can do, doing 2 points, which still hits 1 hit point, which means that we then do 2 hit points, because if it's passive or weak structure, when the construct marks hit points from a physical damage, they mark an additional hit point. So that's 2, taking it down to 2 hit points left on this construct. But we did with fear, so we get a fear, and the spotlight comes back to our construct. Our construct will, I think our construct is going to attack Wolf and then charge Fern. So it's going to attack Wolf, which is this, then we'll burn a fear to make it charge Fern, and do another attack on Wolf at the same time, so as it charges across. So the first one is an attack on Wolf. +4, I forgot we got a +4 for attacks. I think those would have hit, so we get, I think those other ones would have hit actually. We get a definite hit on Wolf, doing a d20 damage, doing a 2, which is only on the first threshold for Wolf. No, because any damage just marks the stress on Wolf. So Wolf gets smashed to the ground, and then the construct is going to burn a fear comes back to the construct, and then trample is marking a stress, taking down to 2 stress, and then attempting to charge Fern, which would be hitting Wolf, which hits Wolf, which marks another stress on Wolf, and then charging Fern. Now we'll remember the +4 instead of cheating. 13 +4 is a 17. Smashing into Fern, it will spend a stress, leaving 1 stress left, to do +10 damage. So that's a d8 +10, doing 12 points against Fern, which is into Fern's major damage. Fern has no armor slots that they can use, but the armor is relentless. Roll a d6 on a 6, reduce the threshold with no slot use. Well, there's no slots that we can actually use. I mean, we can roll it because it might magically drop it down. So we take 2 hit points unless this rolls a 6. No. So we take 2 hit points as Fern is thrown to the ground as it stampedes in to Fern. So it did 1 attack, which was that one, and then we burnt a fear to allow it to have a second one because it's relentless. And then that's it. Then the spotlight changes back to Fern. Fern is in front of it. I think Fern is going to attempt to do the melee hit, burn a stress, and kick off. to make distance go, and then if that works, which is the Caprine Leap, kick. When you succeed on an attack against a target within melee range, you can mark a stress to kick yourself off them, dealing an extra 2d6 damage. So first we need to hit it. It's got a difficulty of 13. We will use, I think is this strength? I think so. So we will burn one of our hope. We'll burn one of our hope to, actually we could burn two. No, we'll burn one of our hope to give ourselves grit teeth and push forward with +2. And I think that's it for this, which is 13. So we need to hit 13s and we get +2, which is, it's a with fear, but we get a 17 plus the 2, which is a 19. So we then will mark a stress. We've made the distance and we get to roll a d4 because it's base damage plus 2d6. So 2d6 and a d4. It has 2 hit points remaining. I think we kill it anyway at this point. We do 3, 3, 3. All the 3s. 3, 3, 3. Half a devil. 9 points. 9 hits over its threshold into Mark 2, which means we do 2 points of damage, and because of its passive, we get 3 points on it, which takes it down to 0 hit points. Now, it does have a reaction. When the construct marks their last hit point, the magic power in them ruptures in an explosion of force. Make an attack with advantage against all targets within very close range. Targets the construct succeeds against take. Now, the problem is, for this thing, is that we knock it. So when you succeed on an attack against a target within melee range, to kick yourself off of them, dealing an extra 2d6 damage and knocking back either yourself or the target to very close range. Which I think means it still gets to attack Fern, because it says very close range, which means that we knocked it back to very close range, but we're still in very close range with it. So it attempts to do make an attack with advantage against all targets within very close range. Okay, so this is just against Fern because Wolf was over on the other side. So 12. So there we go. So we get a 4 plus a 1 is a 5, which means Fern ducks behind a stone as the construct explodes and ruptures and bits of stone go all over the place as Fern ducks and it tears through the foliage. And Wolf comes running over and makes sure that Fern is okay. So we now have this pile. We can use the loot table within Construct Adversaries, Daggerheart-Compatible monsters. Am I pushing that too hard? To see if we get to see what loot we get off this thing. I definitely think we'll get loot after fighting a solo. So, what loot do we get? Okay, so we have a D12 on our D12 loot table. We do have still, because that was with fear, wasn't it? I think I put that there. So we're now on 4. So we roll a D12 for our loot. We get an 8. An 8 is a companion case, latch packed with stone dust shell unmarked by the fall. So we've got a companion case. So basically I just list the things you need to check the SRD for what a companion case is. Within the SRD, I already know what a companion case is, but just in case you don't know what a companion case is, I shall read you what a companion case is. Where's the loot? Here it is. So a companion case is a case that will fit a small animal companion. While the companion is inside, the animal and case are immune to all damage and harm effects. Basically, it is too small to fit. So it would be like, let's say it's like a map scroll, and it would fit, it's reasonably big. We forgot to give Fern her -1s for rolls because she's holding onto this striker. It would be about like a big case, almost like a scroll case with a screwable lid, and a weasel type creature could probably fit into it. Maybe a cat, but they would be calm and they would be safe and they'd be happy inside because they are 100% safe. That can't be injured and the animal can't be injured. Fern is going to make a instinct roll for perception at 15 to see if we can find anything else. And if we can, it'll be a handful of gold. So it's 15s. It's with hope, but it's a failure. It's with hope, but a failure. So we get a hope, but we fail to find anything else, which means we have 3 hope at the moment. All right, we've got 4 fear. Fern is on 2 hit points, 1 stress. Wolf is on 2 stress. We could pause and do a short rest, but pausing and doing a short rest is going to mean that the fear pool will grow. We don't want to let the fear pool grow. I mean, as an aside, episode 10, comment on the system. I quite like the way, particularly if the players know that the fear pool is growing. Personally, I know it's just me, because I know if the fear pool goes, basically mentally, if the fear pool goes above 5, I feel I should be spending it for the story. That it means that the story is leaning towards there needs to be some adversary happening for Fern, which is why I did this ambush. And why I spent it like I did for the solo hitting. But I don't want to do long rests and short rests. I want to move the story forward because I don't want the fear pool to grow. So as a mechanic to push forward the story, I think that's quite cool. It's a mechanic that everybody at the table is aware of. Everybody at the table knows how big that pool is getting and whether that should be moved forwards or not. So it's morning. This has just happened. Fern knows that there are things in the Sablewood that are after Fern. Fern needs to get this striker and Flint to Bead Nova as soon as possible, and we need to work out what's going on. So we will continue our journey to the Spire. Fern now needs to make. We could do another ambush, but that seems too much. Fern needs to make an instinct roll to move through quietly. We will give Fern a d6 because it's the Sablewoods and Fern is good with moving through the Sablewoods. We've got a +1. We get a success, which is a 13, a 14 +1, which is a 15, which is a success hitting the 15. But we have succeeded with fear, which means we need to roll a d12, and on an odd result, we have an encounter. So, do we have an encounter? No, we don't have an encounter, an 8, which is an even result. So Fern moves through the Sablewood quietly with Wolf on Fern's heels, and they get to the spire, which is standing with all the cogs coming on the side, which look like melt. Something hot has hit it all at one time, and the cogs are beginning to drip and melt down the side. They've cooled. They're not dripping and melting now. They've cooled. Our story, our clock for this spire has still got 2 ticks left on it. So this isn't too late. Now we're too late for that, but we can now, because we defeated the solo, we can move our Thistlefolk story clock forward 1 tick because we completed a Thistlefolk job. So that one has moved forward 1 tick, and we will need to create a new one when we go back to Hush, which we can do after we finish lighting the spire. So Fern is going to enter the base of the spire and make their way up the spire to the top, hopefully where Bead Nova is. And we will find that out next week because we will end there, and I will say what we're going to do is Bead Nova at the spire is our main question. We will work that out next week as we will play more Daggerheart solo. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I really do appreciate it. So much you don't know. If you're not yet a subscriber, do consider subscribing. It's an awesome way to support. If you'd like to hit the thumbs up, that helps the algorithm know. If you'd like to put some comments in, that helps the algorithm know. I much appreciate all of your watch time. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for all of your support. The Adventurers Guild are members of the YouTube membership. They financially support the production of the videos, and they help these videos being produced. The 2 tiers, there's the Superfan Thank You tier, which is financially supporting and gets some extras, not much. And then there is the Early Doors. Both tiers will be getting an audio podcast that I'm going to begin producing, technically speaking, now that I'm in Belgium, but it's going to wait until I'm actually in Belgium. So it will be out soonish from when this video goes live. You can also support, of course, by purchasing the Solo in Sablewood guide. You can purchase the Construct Adversaries, or there is the Heart Guide for Daggerheart, and there are some other things all on Drive Thru, or there's the variety of trifolds that can be purchased also from Drive Thru. Or there's just watching the videos or sending me nice things. There's Patreon, you can join Patreon, that supports the production of these, well, that supports the production of the books, and various things like that. And that's it really. I think that's it until next week. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.